You say something to the extent of, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'm like, who promised you that? I'll get to it a month from now. I'm like, who promised you that? Because life changes so quick. We live our lives and we feel as if we're promised something, right? But when you think about it, it's like when we try to control things. But when you really think about the macro of life and the grand scheme of life, we really don't have any control. We can control what we possess: emotions, attitude, thought process, perspective, how we speak, how we respond. But just life in general, we have no control of that.
In this world, you will have tribulation. We don't quit. We don't draw back. If you quit when the gunfire's coming, when everything's being hit all around you, that's when everything in us says, I give up, I quit, I'm done. This is the end, phooey on this. But if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Not the person who offended you, your strength.
Hey man, life don't owe you a thing. Everybody done been through something. Everybody's gonna encounter something. Okay, something happens to you, pick up the pieces, move forward. I think the beautiful thing about adversity and opposition, when you live with it, it teaches you, right? If you're open to it, right? When you live with challenges, it teaches you.
Are you making yourself better? Or are you making yourself worse? Are you moving forward or are you moving back? Are you making progress or are you stagnating? Every little decision you make counts.
I tell people all the time, man, the easiest thing in the world to do is to be negative. Easiest thing in the world to do is complain. Easiest thing in the world to do is to quit. It's moments like that that you remember that shape and mold you as a person as you go throughout life. And I think we all have them, right? We all have these moments, right? Whether it be humility moments, whether it be, moments that keep us grounded. It's just we choose sometimes to forget them. But I feel like we all have those encounters that as we navigate, we go and we grow throughout life, it's those moments that keep us grounded, that makes us remember where we come from, that makes us remember how we've gotten to the points that people know us at, that we look back and we think and we reflect on to where we can say, all right, I got it.
Every decision that you make has consequences. Even the smallest decisions.
When you are exposed to things, it gives you options. Options give you choices, and choices require decisions. It is critically important that you make this next step into sound decisions.
When you're going through darkness, when you're going through trial, when you're going through setback and adversity, then guess what? You're going to find out who you are. You're going to find out that your security cannot be in what other people say or feel about you. Do you realize everything that has been built is the direct result of a dream and persistence to that dream of someone who would not give up?
All of us, we're going to encounter those defining moments in our lives, right? To where it's going to hurt. Go through these things of opposition, adversity, and challenge. It's always a lesson. It's always a blessing. It's up to us to extract it.
Consequences are more important than decisions. Don't ever make a decision more important than a consequence, because decisions give birth to consequences. People normally say, if you make a decision, you got to live with it. That is not true. You live with the consequences.
Your personal philosophy is like a guidance system that helps you make decisions what to do, what not to do. From the information you get and what you learn and what you know, we decide. Maybe your philosophy would have been 5 years ago never to attend seminars like this. You just didn't go. Now 5 years later, here you are. Something happened along the way. So now that little amendment in your philosophy, you now say, I'm going to regularly go, because it doesn't take but a few ideas to make a great difference in your income, personal life, social life, and all the rest. A change of mind, a change of idea. The more we learn, the more we know, the better we're able to make better decisions.
Attitude drives performance. So that's the key to life. I think sometimes when things don't go our way, the quote says it. You judge the true character and caliber of a person not by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge the true character and caliber of a person by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And character can be cultivated in the midst of opposition and adversity. But when things go wrong, things don't go the way you want them to, they don't unfold the way you want them to, who are you? Because that's the true test of who you are as a person. That's your true character. That's the essence and the ethos of who you are as a person.
So what is the worst thing that can happen? I want you to visualize that, experience that, feel the nervousness and the discomfort. And the more you run it in your mind, the less power that it will have.
Your philosophical guidance system does two things. Number one, helps you to see the dangers on one side so you can avoid those. But here's what else your guidance system does. Helps you to see the opportunities on the other side so that you can expand those, maximize those. And here's what that's called. The game of life is to minimize the dangers and maximize the opportunities. And the more we know and the more we learn, the more experience we gather, helps us to keep continually adjusting our philosophical guidance system so that we minimize more dangers, maximize more opportunities. That's really the game of life.
I believe that the good thing about difficulty and failure is that they teach you what success really means. They force you to really look at it and to define it for yourself, what it means to you. And that's what matters, that you know what success looks like and feels like for you. Too many people spend their lives trying to capture other people's versions of success.
When there's something that you want to do, that you know in your heart that you are meant to do, don't focus on the odds. Don't focus on why you can't do it. No. Focus on why you will do it. You want to put more energy on why you will do it and can do it than you're not being able to do it or the things that you're having working against you.
Stop hanging out with people that make you look good by how little they know, and so you can condescend to them, so that you can be a great fish in a small pond. Get around people who make you feel stupid because they stretch you, they make you grow, they make you read, they make you study, they stretch you. They expose you to great information, then you can make great decisions.
The future is actually the place where there is threat, and it's always going to be there. So what do? You make sacrifices in the present so that the future is better. Everyone does that. That's what you're doing right now. That's what you're doing here. It's amazing. You can bargain with reality. You can forestall gratification now, and it'll pay off at a place and time that doesn't even exist yet. Who would have believed that? It's like that's a miracle that occurs.
So forget what can't be changed and focus on the future. Until you learn to do this, you're going to be unhappy much of your life. Because you hold on to the habits, and you hold on to the hurts and the hang-ups, and you hold on to the grief and the guilt and the grudges, and that causes so much unhappiness in your life. You got to let it go.
You can't live off of yesterday's manna and expect to have victory today. Yesterday's information may not work today. Stay open for change. Be willing to try something new. What made you successful 5 years ago may not make you successful today. Have the attitude, God, I'm ready for new things. If you don't innovate, you will evaporate. You can't rely on what got you to where you are to keep you where you are. The world is changing. You can't afford to sit back on autopilot and just coast, do things the same way. You'll get left behind.
All of us are basically the same. The only difference between the haves and the have-nots are their habits. But most people won't take the time to invest in themselves. Most people won't take the time to put in the effort and the work. Warren Buffett said something I like. Habits are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken.
Learn number one from your own experiences, learn number two from other people's experiences. If you want to live a dynamic life, multiplying your income, multiplying your future, be a good student. If a good idea comes your way, write it down, then ponder it, then perhaps go do it. Your philosophy comes from what you learn, comes from what you know, comes from other people's experiences.
88% of what's going on in any given moment you're not paying attention to. That which we tend to pay attention to is aligned with what we believe, and so that's all we get. So if you want, more happiness, if you want more wealth, if you want deeper relationships, if you want to have more joy, you want to have more fun, you want to, achieve your full potential and really make an impact in the world, then what's really important is to get clear on what that could look like for you.